All right, there we go. February 17th. Hopefully everybody had a great Valentine's Day.
Single Awareness Day.
I almost got in trouble. I almost forgot about it.
I saved my one buddy's call. He calls me at 8 Pacific. So what are your plans for Monday? He's like, nothing. I'm like, so you're doing nothing for Valentine's Day? He's like, oh, shit.
It was lucky for me. I actually looked at Facebook that day and I'm like, oh.
Facebook came in clutch for you.
But yeah, that came through. Cool stuff. All right. So everybody doing well?
Yes. Very well.
Awesome. Roger. Yep. Roger gets spoiled. I think it goes both ways, right? That's awesome. Sounds good. All right. Well, Josh, do you want to lead the parade here and we'll take a look at your custom domain?
Yes, please.
Because I think that's a lot of people want to figure out how to do that in Kartra. So
yeah. So I'll start screen sharing.
Yep. Share your screen and we'll kind of run through it.
So this is my Google domains. How do I make this smaller? Over here. Oh, well. And then here's Kartra. What the? Yeah. So I did the only domain, joshboltoncoaching.com.
Okay. So here's something that you want to consider when you're choosing which domain you want to do.
Okay.
When you set up a custom domain on a full domain, it basically means that Kartra is going to take over that entire website. If that's not what you want to do, then you use a subdomain.
This is not assigned to anything. So
okay, I just wanted you to be clear on that.
Okay.
You can't come through and like put a website on top of it after this.
Right. Yeah, I literally just bought this name just for Kartra.
Perfect. Okay, then you're doing the right thing then.
Okay, so then I do the next, and then it's the integration. The integration part is where I keep getting in trouble.
Okay.
It's the CNAME record. From what I could tell, that what they told me is in the data part, I'm supposed to put this part in the data for Google.
Correct. That is correct. So when you go into your DNS, so go to your DNS where you registered the domain.
Without that period.
Right. Yes, you don't put the period on the end of it. Okay, so take the period. Make sure you don't have a space on the front too, because sometimes it'll copy a space on the front, which it did.
Okay.
So that could have easily been your problem right there.
Okay, then they say www, and that's it. Correct.
Yeah. So basically what this is going to do is this is going to push the www.joshboltoncoaching.com over to that Kartra page, and you make that a CNAME.
Right.
Okay. And then
you erased all that.
Yeah, it killed your.
Okay.
Okay. So you should be good there.
Save. Overwrite everything.
Yep.
Okay. But see, it put a period at the end of the .com.
Yes, it does that by default.
Okay.
A lot of DNS records do that. So you don't put it in, it could add it to it for you. So then otherwise you might wind up with two of them.
Right. And then it says for forwarding.
And you don't want forwarding. If you do forwarding on your www, like this is okay. The Josh to the www, that's okay.
Yeah, that's what they recommended.
Okay, that's fine.
And then they said they wanted a 301 forward, I believe. Oh, it's a temporary. Well, this is the old one. But yeah, they recommend a 301. Is that?
Yeah, 301 is a permanent redirect.
Okay.
And what that does is for Google, that tells Google this is the new place for it. So it will pass any SEO value from the old to the new.
Okay.
If it's a temporary, Google kind of just ignores it. It's like, oh, okay, he'll fix it eventually.
Okay, so then everything else is good.
Yep, you should be good with that.
Okay, let's set that, overwrite it. Oh.
That should be the www.
Okay. Yes, overwrite everything. Yes, overwrite everything. Okay, so then it
Josh,
should.
did you mean that forward to say show, not coaching?
Oh, did it put show?
It did.
Yeah,
Because the Josh Bolton show is the one. Dang it.
started moving really fast. You were going so slow and cautious, and then bam, everything started going flying.
Okay, so then. There we go.
Okay, so now you should be set. Just for the hell of it, go back into your DNS records and let's make sure nothing funky went on there. Okay.
I'm gonna say the forwarding looks funny now. Now, what am I supposed to put to pull up the CNAME record for you?
Yeah, you just scroll down and see if there's a CNAME in there. So see the advanced settings. I think I'm afraid what happened is when you do the forward, it just erases everything and puts it back to all their defaults.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, so I think the forwarding is what's messing you up here.
So then just delete it and just try the CNAME for 24 hours.
Try the CNAME, yeah, because I think your forwarding is what's screwing you up.
Okay.
And you know, the other thing I would do too is in Kartra, I never send anything to the www. I always make it the other way around. Like I make the base domain name the thing.
Okay. So then, but so do I just cut it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just take the www off of there.
It won't let me.
It won't let you. That's strange. Okay, well, if it won't let you, if it forces you to, then I guess you're stuck with it.
Okay.
But typically I never do that. Like in mine, I have internetdominators.com is my website. That's where I have my WordPress site.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
what I did,
dub is for old people and Craig.
yeah, exactly. So I have my Internet Dominator site just be my standard site. And then whenever I want to add something to it, I always do it on a subdomain. So like in here, I came in and I created a subdomain.internetdominators.com for all my Kartra pages.
Okay.
That's, you know, and it's just personal preference for me. I like to keep everything on one domain. So when you start creating a bunch of different domains for different stuff, and it's all really you, what you're doing is you're kind of diluting your SEO value across all those domains. So I like everything, like I pick my main hub, like for me, it's Internet Dominators. Everything is going there. Like if I want an extra domain and I just want a page up for it, I'll put the page on internetdominators.com / the page name. And then I'll take that new URL and I'll do a forward there with a 301 redirect that goes to that page.
Okay.
So all the juice is funneling to that main master domain. And for SEO value, that makes truly the most sense.
I do a 308 with a 407 once in a while myself. Hey, John, question.
Different world there, Roger.
Quick question about what you just said, though.
Uh-huh.
I have seen people who have adopted a different strategy.
Okay.
For SEO purposes, where they have 3 or 4 different domains and there's some overlap in content. It's not exact, it's not a duplicate, but there's discussion that's similar. And then when you search, you have like the top like this person looks like they're everywhere because there's
Yeah.
bam, this site and this site and this site and
Mhm.
this site. Is that
There's-
better, or do you need to push all of your SEO into that one site to get it up onto that first page?
Well, it comes to strategy. If you have reputation issues and you need a lot of different things to take up the whole front page of Google, that's where multiple domains can come into play. So that could be a very powerful strategy for that. Another thing that you can do too, have you heard of private blog networks?
No.
Okay, so a private blog network is where you create multiple sites, multiple pages, all based around the same kind of content for linking purposes. Then you can get these other domains to link to you, passing that SEO juice to the main domain. That was a really popular strategy for a long time, and it still does work. It's just, I don't feel it's quite as effective these days unless your private blog network actually has real traffic on it. If you've created a private blog network that actually has value and real traffic and all that, then they're awesome. But if you're just like creating a bunch of junk pages just to build links, I don't believe they carry near the value, if any, at this point.
Can I circle back and give you our like domain scenario and let you assess it? But I don't want to derail you from helping Josh right now because he's in the middle of his thing.
Sure. Yeah, we can for sure. We'll pop right back to that when we're done. So back to Josh, I think what was happening there was when you set up your CNAME first, and then because you set up a forward, it said we're gonna override all of your settings. I think it was wiping everything out.
It says on Kartra for step 3 is to redirect from joshboltonshow.com to www.joshboltoncoaching.com.
Okay. And you can actually do that with DNS instead of the redirects.
Okay.
Because I think what's happening is it's a more advanced setting in DNS to do that. So I think that is like for beginners where they just want to redirect, and then Google goes in the back end and just makes all these changes for you, not knowing what you're trying to really do. So I think it was wiping out what you intended to do.
Okay.
So get it set up first, let it propagate. Let's make sure it works. And then I'll help you with that strategy of forwarding the other one to the www. And we'll do that outside of Kartra or redirect. We'll do it with the A name record and the C name record.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so cool. So hopefully that will be underway, and we'll look forward to that working for you. All right, so Roger, let's hear your scenario here. Trying to figure out the mute. There you go.
Can't talk for a few minutes.
Oh,
Put it in
okay.
chat. So circle
Okay.
somewhere else.
Gotcha. All right. Anybody else here want to take up for the time being?
Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Hi, I got two technical questions here that we touched on lightly before, but given the nature of this call, I'd really appreciate putting on our cowboy chaps and going into the deep weeds on this and getting real specific on what in the hell is schema markup and how far down that rabbit hole do we really need to go, or does site pop relieve us of that necessity?
Sure. Okay. Well, first of all, site pop doesn't relieve you of any of your responsibilities. you still are responsible for creating good content and doing all your on-page SEO. That doesn't take you off the hook for that. And with that in mind, schema code is basically it's a meta tag, or it's a little more than a meta tag, but that's where it goes. It goes up in the head tag of your website. And what it is, Google is trying to figure out what everything means on the internet. So schema helps it decide. Like there's a lot of words in the English language that have multiple meanings. And for Google, it wants to figure out, because Google's trying to pair up people with the right information. They don't want to send you to the wrong stuff. Schema helps them do that. So it's a matter of trust. They want to trust that they're sending people to the right thing, because there are words in the English language that on one side of the fence could be something for kindergarten kids, and the same word could mean something in the adult world. They do not want to send kids to adult content. So schema gives them a way to trust who they're sending to the right stuff. Like a perfect example of this is the word cougar. The word cougar can mean a car from the 1970s. It can mean an animal in the zoo, and it can mean an older woman. You could see how if a kid was doing research on a zoo animal, you would not want to send him to an adult cougar site. So schema comes in to save the day, and it says cougar is a wild animal. Well, the woman could be a wild animal too, but it kind of gives them an idea of what you're talking about. So schema has become a pretty good trust factor for Google. I have seen a lot of sites get a lot of SEO value from adding schema tags. Now, that said, schema covers a bunch of different categories, and it can be very complex, or at least it can look that way. I would say one of the best ways that you can do schema is steal it. If you've got a competitor that's got schema tags on their site, just go borrow them, make them your own, and plug them into your site. There's
How do you do that? How do you do that, or recognize it, or any of that? That's the puzzle to me. Is that I was fascinated by the fact that it was apparently schema.org is actually something that Bing, Yahoo, and Google all got together and decided that they wanted to do. And seeing how I imagine those guys don't normally talk to each other, that they would cooperate in that level seems kind of important. But as soon as you go on that site and start going down that rabbit hole, I mean, for anybody that's not into coding, your eyes are just going to roll up in your head and get lost very, very quickly. And so how would I know if my competitor even had them, or if I should borrow them? And if they did have it and I wanted to borrow it, how would I identify what it is I need to borrow? I mean, it really seems...
Well,
wow.
any web page that you want to look at, you can right click on any web page, and then you select the thing in the drop down that says view code. Now you wanted to go into the weeds. Well, here we go. When you look at the code of their website, it's simply that. It's code. It's not graphical. There's no pictures. It's just a bunch of text. It's not X's and O's, it's somewhat legible, but it's some crazy shit to look at. In the very top of that code, you'll see the first tag is called head. And then at the end of the head, there will be an end head tag. So that clearly defines what's in the head. The schema is going to be in the head. Sometimes the head will only be a couple of lines. Sometimes it'll just be title. Sometimes it'll have description. Sometimes it'll have, it could be up to hundreds of lines. But you want to look for the line that starts off with schema. And then everything that starts in HTML code has an end tag. It has a beginning tag and an end tag. And it ends with a little caret, like the greater than and less than signs are what encapsulate these tags. So when you see the one tag on one side and then schema, and then it closes, and then there's several lines of stuff, several lines of text, and then the end will be the little caret sign and then a slash, meaning end schema, and then it closes the tag. So that's as far in the weeds as I'm going to take you. But you simply copy the beginning of the schema to the end of the schema, and you can literally paste that right into your head tag. And then you go in and you can read these, they're basically in English, and where it says, it'll say like company, and then it'll have a company name. Obviously you change their company to your company. You change any related information that is pertinent out from theirs to yours. And it can be just that simple. There's a bunch of plugins. If you have WordPress sites, which I'm pretty sure you do, there's a lot of sites that are a lot of plugins for that. I believe that Yoast, if you're using the Yoast SEO plugin, I'm pretty sure it has schema in there. There's also schema generators. The more schema, it seems like the more complex you make the schema, the better the Google likes it for some reason. Obviously, they like complex. But you can go to a schema generator and you can keep adding things to your schema code. The more data, the more they like it. So there is no real right and wrong of this is the right way to do it, this is the wrong way to do it. If you're using a schema generator, it's going to make sure that the syntax is proper. That's the only place where you would go wrong is if you got the wrong syntax. If your tag just wasn't politically correct in the schema world. So that's where you can go. I believe schema.org has an authenticator or a checker where you can paste your code in and it will verify it, or it'll mark up where it's wrong or whatever. So, but going into schema.org, for any of you that really want an exercise in futility, go in and read their white paper, because it's good information if you have insomnia and you really want to go to sleep. That is not the kind of guy I am. I do not go in and read white papers. I figure out how to make shit work and I just plug it in and go. Don't worry about it.
When you do a website, do you do the schema markup as well, or is that a separate exercise?
Only if we're doing SEO for a client, then we'll do it, but it's not part of like a website build. It goes a little beyond a traditional website build.
Okay, so if I'm doing, if I have a customer and we need to revamp their website and we're going to be having them on a regular monthly SEO stuff, I let you know that ahead of time and you'll do the schema markup along with the website and the ongoing stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, I won't personally, but my guys will.
I expect that, however, and you're doing it though, but you're still staying strictly to the WordPress sites. You're not adopting, you are maybe at some point, whatever, but you're not adopting the Groove platform at this point, correct?
No, I have no intention of going into the Groove platform. I'm perfectly happy with Kartra. And for me to switch from Kartra to Groove would be a major switch. I would have to have a really good reason, which I don't have. Those guys, they are really good marketers, but I don't think that Groove platform is nearly up to the, the point of actually being functional yet.
Oh no, they still got
they got a long way to go.
Yeah, they're closing their beta at the end of the month, I think, but they've still got plans for doing things and working out things through 2023, I think, at this point. So
yeah, I'm perfectly happy with what Kartra does. I for Groove to get ahead of Kartra enough to make me even consider changing it is a long stretch. Jim, go ahead.
thanks, John.
Sure.
Hopefully we can get into some more weeds.
As long as we don't roll them and smoke them, we're good.
yeah, not till 5 o'clock. And yeah, so I would love for you to show me in Kartra, what would somebody like a future affiliate need to do to sign up to be an affiliate? And then where would they access their links for products? And what do I need to do?
Okay. So inside the Kartra environment, there's a whole affiliate section in there. And there's actually a lot of layers to it. Actually, it seems simple in concept, but like everything else, implementation is another story.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so let me go over, let me find my site here, and we'll go in and I'll show you all the things that you have to consider when you're setting up an affiliate program. So in here under products, each product you have to set up affiliate rules for. You're familiar with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, that I've done.
So,
But it might be good for other people to review.
so when you go here, there's a thing that says affiliate links.
Mm.
This is a link that you could give someone to sign up for that affiliate offer.
Ah, gotcha.
So if you just wanted them to sign up for that one thing, that's all, that's the link that you would give them for that particular product. Now, I don't do mine that way. What I do is I have it where I just have one sign up and they get access to affiliate with everything I've got. So if you just wanted one, you do it that way.
Okay.
Up here under affiliates, you'll notice it shows all your affiliates. Next it shows your settings. Now here, you can either have your affiliates approved automatically or you can manually approve them. So I didn't want another job, so I just did auto approval. But under payments, I do not want auto payments.
Mhm.
This is a very dangerous game here because you can have people that are scam artists that will come in, they'll have their friends buy stuff, they'll get the affiliate commission and then they'll refund it or they'll charge it back. And there's no way for you to get your money back. So I do manual payouts here. This is where what I just pointed out to you is the way you do this product specific. I have mine set to account wide. This means when somebody signs up on any of my affiliate links, they automatically are an affiliate of everything I've got. I think this is the way to go because if you had 3 things, you wouldn't want to have them sign up 3 times.
Right.
That would not be a good user experience for them.
Yeah, this is great.
Next is you can set this, like if you've got little payouts, like people are getting, $1 commission or something, you don't want to write 1,000 checks for $1 at the end of the month. So you can set it to where you have to get up to $50 in sales before I'm going to release your payment.
Gotcha.
This is a way that you can keep people from signing up for your affiliate program just to buy the thing themselves and never really promote your program. So you can make the minimum payout like 3 sales. That way they have to hit 3 sales before they actually get paid. So that's something that, strategy wise, you can do that. I just have mine set at 0 because, but keep that in mind. Next, this is something that you definitely want to turn on is the require W-9. You don't want a bunch of stealth people at the end of the year that you've paid out and now you have to send out 1099s and you don't have any information to do it. That will be an absolute nightmare for you. So turn that on. That way they have to fill this out to be paid through the system. If they
Awesome.
don't, they forfeit their commissions. It's just that simple.
But can you make it that they have to give you that before they can be accepted as an affiliate?
No, it's after the fact.
Okay.
So this is a part of their walkthrough when they're setting themselves up after they become an affiliate. but there's no way in Kartra to make them do this first.
Okay.
So
Which seems like it would benefit us, because if they do sell and only after selling realize that they need to do a W-9 and are unwilling to do it, we still get the sale.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think making it happen after you approve them as an affiliate protects you from the other side of the scam that says people scam and get your social or your TIN and then scam you that way and say, oh yeah, be my affiliate. So I think it kind of.
Yeah, I haven't seen any downside to this the way it goes. It actually incentivizes them to fill it out because they want to get paid. So, and if you've got somebody that is unwilling to do that, it's probably not somebody you want to pay anyway.
Yeah.
You know. And then mandatory terms and conditions. I have terms and conditions on my site. I just copied that, pasted it in here. I make them check it off saying that they understand and they're accepting of the terms. You can also, a lot of people do this. They do a sign up questionnaire.
Mm.
And one of the things that can do is that can help prevent people from using your links to spam. Like somebody can get a hold of your affiliate links and go out and do a big old spam campaign that is going to come back to bite you. You don't want people sending your links out in spam emails because no good will come of that. You might get a few sales, but you're going to take some serious heat from that. So that's one of the reasons a lot of the affiliates will do a questionnaire. They ask, how are you going to market this? What's your website? How big is your list? Do you plan on doing paid advertising? They just ask a bunch of questions to try and get an idea of cutting this off at the pass if it's going to be a problem. So anyway, that's the part of setting it up in the settings. And you have to do this when you activate your affiliate program. This is the first thing you have to do. You have to go in and configure this. And then in the products themselves, that's where you set, like I'll go into one of the products here. And this, I'm going to show you a cool little trick here to get you through this a lot quicker. Normally, you have to page through to get all the way over here to affiliates. And it's like you can see up here, and we're on number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I change that 2 to a 6, hit enter, I jump right to that tab.
Ah,
Very tricky.
If any of you have had that frustration of having to page through all this crap to get there, that's just change 2 to 6 and you're there. So
hey,
here,
John, I just wanted to ask before you get too much farther into this process, do you have like an internet dominator, those questions for the affiliates that like anybody that wanted to make the affiliate program, do you have that already that we could copy?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't ask them the questions. I don't do the questionnaire thing.
Oh,
But what I have, if you go to
But the terms and conditions would be great.
yeah, I have that. If you just go to my website, go down to the bottom, and it says become an affiliate. That's my affiliate page. There's my affiliate button to sign up for my program. And then here's the terms and conditions. It'll just scroll you down to the bottom. There's my terms and conditions. It's also got all my legal stuff. This is all the FTC Guardian stuff. It's pretty basic. I don't have like, I don't have one of those 50-page white papers on any of the stuff. It's just the basics. You might want to look at somebody else's, that's got a really in-depth one and see if there's anything that they've got that I don't, that you might want. But, I just lay it out here. I say, please be aware, yada, yada, yada. All affiliates that reside in the USA must complete and return a W-9. Otherwise, they don't receive payouts. Affiliate commissions are paid on or around the first of each month. So I'm basically telling them when they're going to get paid. Unpaid commissions due to W-9 non-compliance will be forfeited after 1 year. So I'm basically giving them a year. If they don't do it within a year, then those commissions are mine. So affiliate is responsible for keeping their contact details and payment details up to date. This is something that's very important. Like when you're paying people out, I've had this on several occasions where somebody will change their payment details. So I'll send a wire and there's nowhere for it to land and it comes back to me. Not my problem. If you didn't update where you wanted me to send your money, that's on you. And again, I'm putting that in there very clear. Affiliate is responsible. So unpaid commissions held due to invalid contact or payment details also forfeited after 1 year. So if I send a wire to the wrong place, you've got a year to tell me where to send it. But again, it's up to you to do that. So it's all just basic stuff here. Here's the one: don't offer cash rebates, cash backs, gift cards, or physical product incentives to people who buy through your affiliate link. I don't want people buying my stuff to get your stuff and then charge back my shit at the end. I don't want that. So don't use negative words such as scam in any promotions. Don't misrepresent our product or offer. You are not allowed to create Facebook groups, Facebook pages related to SitePop or Internet Dominators or any of our affiliated offerings. And let's see, affiliates must use best practice to maintain our reputation and honor in representing our affiliate offers. And non-compliance, you forfeit any outstanding commissions. So I had one guy that forfeited his commissions because he did not honor, what was it? Best practice to maintain our reputation. You know what he did? He reported me to Kartra for spam because he received a SitePop update and he was a SitePop affiliate. So I'm like, dude, that just cost you a few grand. Sorry, you don't pull that kind of crap. So anyway, and on this page, this is a very long page that I've got because I've got a bunch of stuff on here. The affiliate program, it basically covers, you know, my three main offers. It's got the ACT program. It shows the prices, the commissions, the apprentice program. Then it's got website services. It's got SitePop. Got the commissions. And we always pay, usually what we do on stuff that's recurring, we'll pay our affiliates 50% on the front end and 25% on the back end. So we make it very enticing for them. And then we've got our affiliate manager, contact information, and then we've got example campaigns here so people can see, they can visualize what the campaign is. Like this is an example webinar. I do a lot of these webinars with people that want to promote our stuff. So it's branded. They get on, they introduce me, we kind of go back and forth. I do the presentation and then we close it out. Those work really good for sales. And then this is important. If you want people to promote your offers, you need to make it easy for them. Like you need to present them the opportunity to do a webinar. All they have to do is invite their audience. You do all the work. You do the presentation. They just make money. Important that you have these swipe emails for them. What a swipe email is it's something that they can send out. They don't have to write copy for you. So all these have drop downs. So you can see, like, there's the email that they can just copy that and send that. Here's one about the replay. So replay, when backlinks and PBNs stop working, do this. This guy specifically has an SEO audience. They know exactly what that means. That means a lot to them. They're like, yeah, my PBN stopped working. What do I do now? Well, do this. It's very clear to them. That would not work anywhere else. If the audience I sent that to wasn't SEO, really deep in the weeds SEO guys, this would have not worked. But it worked very well for those people. That's back to the ACT program, knowing who you're talking to, knowing what's important to them, knowing their language. You've got to key in on all that stuff. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of these things. This is one that, like, on the end of the sequence, says, I hate goodbyes. It's so sad. And this is like the last offer, you know, when the timer's going to hit 0, that's it. They're done. They don't have the opportunity to get this anymore. And then you can do creatives. If you want to give out banners, you can set up your banners in here. And then I've got my terms of service, and I've got these sign up buttons all over the place. They're throughout the whole thing. There's one there. There's one there. They're at the end and beginning of every offer, there's a sign up button, because that's all I want out of this page. I just want them to sign up. So anyway, that's my affiliate page. Now back to the product. You can set up, notice I've got 3 different price levels for this particular product, and I can set different commissions on each price level. So let's say I want to bring in Tim and I want to do a special deal for Tim. And I say, hey, Tim, if you promote this, I'm going to give you 75% on the front, and I'm still going to give you the 25% on the back, but I'm going to incentivize you. So I just create another price level. It can be the same price, but it gives me an opportunity in here to set a different commission level for it. So,
John, clarifying question. When you say 50% on the front, 25% on the back, you mean that you give up 75% of the money that somebody pays if they come in through an affiliate? Am I reading that right?
No, so it's 50% of the first sale. And then, like with Site Pop or this one, for instance, this is going to be every month.
Yes.
So the first month is usually a higher one. There's usually an initiation fee. So they get 50% of that higher figure.
Okay.
That incentivizes them to want to do this. And then on the back end, follow-up charges, I give them 25%.
25% of the monthly. You keep 75%.
Correct.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you.
And what that does, notice over here, I've got the broker column. I can also set up a broker. Like I can give the broker 25% of the front, 25% of the back. And that leaves me 50% of the ongoing charges, and it leaves me 25% of the initial charges. And I usually do that. Like this particular price level is just set up to not have a broker involved. But a lot of times, a lot of the big sale webinars that I've done have had a broker, where it wasn't my relationship with the person that put me on the webinar. It was the broker's relationship. He said, hey, I can get this guy to do a webinar for you. And I'm like, awesome. I'll give you the broker commission to do that, to set that up for me.
So let me make sure, because this is getting a little bit tangled. Now we're talking 3 levels, right? The first is you provide a product.
Correct.
The second is a broker, and the broker finds an affiliate. So
Correct.
the affiliate gets the cut from the broker or from you? And
From
then-
me.
From you, and then the broker gets a cut. So
Correct. So you can set that up right here. You can say, I want to give the broker 25%. So basically 50% is going to go to the affiliate, 25% is going to go to the broker. And you don't have to use these numbers. I'm very generous with my payouts because I know that brings me new customers. So it's like, this is like it's the difference between me going out and paying for ads to generate customers or being paid by affiliates to generate my own customers. I'd much prefer to get 25% to generate my customers. I will do that all day long in any situation.
okay.
So I'm very generous with that. A lot of people are not. A lot of people are very stingy with commissions, and it shows in their results. They have a lot of trouble getting people to promote them. And, it's obvious why. So like if you said, hey, John, I'm going to bring you a boatload of customers, are you okay with making just a little bit of money on, up front? Like, sure. I know lifetime value of customers is enormous. So I'd even go in the hole for it, which a lot of people do with paid ads. They'll go in the hole to acquire customers and knowing they're going to make it back on the back end. So the other thing that you can do too is on your follow-up charges, you can set this to where, let's say we did 12 charges and give them 25%. So what this means is they're not going to get the lifetime value of this. They're only going to get a year's worth. So depending on the service or whatever, what this will do, this will incentivize people to continue to promote you. Because if they stop promoting you 12 months from now, their commissions are going to end. So that's also something to think about too. This is a strategy game just as much as anything else. Figuring out how to incentivize people to sell you. It's like having salespeople work in your business. One of the biggest jobs of a business owner is figuring out how to motivate his sales team. And this is no different. It's like, you guys have heard me say this over and over. What works in the real world works here on the online world. And that's exactly what this is. This is how do you motivate your sales team to keep bringing business in for you?
And what I saw there is that you can say of the monthly recurring, you'll give them a percentage, in this case, 25% for the first 12 recurring payments. And after that, you get 100%.
That's correct.
Do you do that, or do you just give them the whole amount ongoing because you are generous?
I will do it in certain circumstances. Like when I have a JV broker involved, a lot of times I will do that because I want the JV broker to keep setting up sales. So typically for me, that's where it will trigger whether I'm going to limit the amount of time that they can make money with this, is if there's a JV broker involved. Because I want to motivate that JV broker. That guy can make me a lot of money. But I have to keep him incentivized. Like in the real world, when you have salespeople, and this might sound a little seedy, but you will see this. If you have a good salesperson, the first thing you want to do is you want to go help him make a deposit on a house. You want to help him with a down payment. You want to make sure that he gets himself a nice car with payments. You want to make sure he gets a boat.
I got you now.
You want to make sure this guy has a high overhead, because now he has to make sales because he needs his commissions to support his lifestyle. You want to make sure that this guy starts living like the rich and famous, right? And you will see that with top salespeople are treated like gods. They get them into the highest lifestyle they possibly can. That's the business owners doing that, leading them down that trail. And it's self-preservation on their part. They need those sales coming in, so they need those guys motivated. There's no better way to motivate somebody than to get them in a high overhead situation where they have to make money.
Do you think your commission structure level, where it's 50% and 25%, is kind of on par with the people that affiliate marketers would engage with, you know, the people that are going to be doing the frontline sales? Or do you think you're a little over generous and draw in the best of them for that?
No, I think I'm probably on par with, if you want to get the really good affiliates in the internet marketing space, this is basically where you have to go to do it. They expect 50% on the front. In fact, some of them expect 75 on the front.
That was my next question. I would say, what if you jump it to 75 or 80 just to entice them? But that's front end.
I have actually had affiliates that wanted 90% on the front end. And you know what I told them?
What?
You want any guesses?
You can go
Yeah.
stick it where it don't shine.
I made them a better offer. I said, what if I give you 100%?
Oh,
You
I would
take
have told them to stick
100.
it.
How about you take 100% of the front and I take all of the back?
Nice.
I'll do that all day long. All day.
They get their quick cash
Yep.
and you get all the residuals.
Yep. You bet. I will do that. And I will make way more money that way.
John, I'll give you 75% of the front any day you want on mine.
Sounds like a winner.
And I'll give you 25% on the back. Let me know when you're doing when you want me to come out and offer my products to your people, dude.
Is this
John's got a big unique list. That's why.
Is this kind of making sense? Like, can you guys see how this works in the real world? And this is how you digitize. That's all this is. It's just digitizing what's working in the real world, what's worked for a long time in the real world. It's just a matter of, you know, in certain things, like if you were selling cars, obviously you can't give away these kind of commissions because there's not that much profit in the car. But on my stuff, we're talking about digital products. There's really, after my development costs, the cost of the actual thing is almost nothing, you know. So I can afford to be very generous on the commissions. And like I said, in the internet marketing space, there's been a lot of guys that have developed in this space around that. They know that. They know there's a lot of money in selling digital products because of the commission rates. The profits are enormous. In some cases, the profits are 100%. You know, it's never really 100% because you always have overhead in any business, but it's as close as you could get. So, yeah, Jim.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, well, you're welcome to go through more details. I just want to make sure I get to a point where I know where to find the link to send to someone to sign up for the global affiliate.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's how you set up the, you know, your commissions per product and the different layers. You can actually add a third tier here. If you want to have a third tier, I've never done it, but Kartra does allow you to do that. If you want to have like a JV broker and then a referrer of the broker, you can do that. I've found it perfectly fine with just 2 levels. Okay, so back on products. Let's see here. So basically, when you're in here, I think the only place where you can actually get your affiliate link is under products. So that is your affiliate link right there. You can change it if you want to customize it. You can use one of your custom domains And then you can put AF in there, like for affiliate. And when you do this, remember I set mine to site wide.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter which one of those. I could give any of those links out for any of my products and it's going to do the same thing. It's once they sign up, it's going to make them a site-wide affiliate.
Okay.
So
Are they going to be different links for each product?
Yes, every product will give you a different link. But when you
So would you do AFF ACT or something like that?
I actually think that I did one of these. I don't remember which one it is that I actually, yeah, there it is right there. So this affiliate dash sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one that I use, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You could use any of them. As long as you're on site wide, it doesn't matter. They all roads lead to the same path.
Okay.
So that's what you give out for them to sign up. Now they get, when they sign up, they actually get a framework of a Kartra account. They don't have all the stuff that we have, but they have the affiliate promos tab.
Mm.
And this is where they've got all the different products that they can promote. Like you see, I've got Craig's Rockstar thing, his Rockstar experience. I've got all the Kartra stuff. Like when I sell Kartra, I go in here to the Kartra starter, and then I go up to my link.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to see this. They're going to see all of your products. So like if they wanted to sell the ACT program or they want to sell Site Pop or whatever, they just go to that particular product here. They can click it here or they can grab it from the drop down. Now that they're on it, they click on the My Link and it will show them right here the commission. Kartra pays 40% commission on the front end. Actually, they pay 40% all the way through. They also pay a JV commission of 10%. So,
And what is JV again? How does that differentiate?
That means you're the broker. Anybody that you bring in, any sales they make, you get a 10% override. So like Craig, I set Craig up on this. So when he brings people in, I get 10%, he gets 40. So like if he brought in, say he brought in Tim, and he's going to get 10% on anybody Tim brings in, Tim's going to get 40. So it's a two-tier type affiliate thing. So when you click on the My Link, brings up two links here. Notice JV broker link.
Mm.
So if you want to set somebody up to sell Kartra and you want the 10% override commission, you send them this link. You say, hey, sign up for the Kartra affiliate program and it's really cool. I'll help you set it up. You're going to help them because you're going to get 10% off them forever. Here's the normal affiliate links. Now, remember in the products, you can set up a whole bunch of different pages here. Each one of them will have a different link. Like here's one, features affiliates. So if you grab that link and we paste that in, it's going to be a Kartra sales funnel based around the benefits of affiliates. Kartra affiliate management. So if anybody was interested in having an affiliate program, I'd say, hey, have you heard about Kartra? It's a really cool way to do an affiliate program. Plus it does everything else for you. But I know that this is what they want. So I'm not going to talk about the other stuff. I'm going to let Kartra do that and educate them on the back end. I'm going to give them what they want. They can start their trial right here. They can manage, it replaces, all this different stuff. It's just showing them everything about their affiliate program that they want. So it's important when you send somebody to something like, here's one for calendars. If I know somebody is interested in a calendar, guess where I'm going to send them? I'm not just sending them to the generic Kartra page. I'm going to send them to that link. If somebody wants forms, if they are interested in an API, you know, here's one, no trial. That's just straight in. If I know they're ready to buy it, right in. If somebody's interested in membership sites, Kartra's done a really good job. Remember I said, make it easy for people to sell your shit? This is a perfect example. They have set up a funnel for every possible angle that somebody could come into wanting Kartra for. If you spend some time and do this for your stuff, it will benefit you greatly. It's going to make it easy for your salespeople to sell your stuff. Here's 14-day trial. If you have somebody that's, they're kind of on the fence, go, hey, just try it for 14 days. It's free for 14 days. So,
Hey, John, question for you about
Mhm.
affiliates. Let's say the primary sales tool you use is a webinar, whether it's a live or an evergreen, or kind of like you do, you miss the great webinar, here it is for 3 more days.
mhm.
Do you have your affiliates bring people to your webinar, or do they create their own sales stuff and send people to their own sales stuff?
It can be, well, they always go through my system for the sale.
Yes.
So I have some guys that already have their own webinar system set up and they don't want people opting into other people's stuff. So they do that. They put me on the webinar. Anybody that's interested in buying, then they pass them over to my site to make the sale. I have others that are not sophisticated. They, they don't want to deal with it. They just want to just have money come in. So in that case, I'll set up the opt-in page. So all the emails that go out to bring them to the webinar, send them to my opt-in. They'll opt into my Kartra page. I do the follow-ups. I've got the whole thing set up so they don't have to send any email other than the first one.
And that still qualifies them for their affiliate fee.
Yeah. As soon as somebody comes through this link, they're cookied. So let's say they come through this link and then tomorrow I send out another one and then maybe they go through this link. As long as they go, I think it's 60 days. If they make a purchase on any Kartra page within 60 days, because they went through your link first, then you're going to get the credit for it.
Awesome.
The only way that they would sidestep that is like if they opened an incognito window and came through someone else's link or went through no link at all, that's a way they could potentially sidestep you. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. That's just, for me, that's just breakage. It's going to happen. If you spend your time worrying about shit you can't change, it's going to drive you nuts. Worry about what you can change. And that's, you'd be better off spending your time and focus on getting more people to the offer than worrying about, somebody that's going to fall out and do something crazy that you can't control. So it'll just not do any good for you. So,
John, you said that was based on a cookie. What about on iPhones because Apple isn't allowing cookies on their phones anymore, from what I understand? How does that work?
I'm not actually sure on that. And I don't even know if this is still cookie based. I just use that as, for lack of a better explanation, it tracks you. I think they've got more advanced tracking methods now. I'm just referring to it as cookies still. I'm an old dog. You got to teach me some new tricks.
Use www.
Yeah, I'm not that old of a dog.
Well, John, you broke our branding today.
I broke your branding?
Look at the pained expression on Michelle.
Oh.
Okay, so we have our site it's really named to be a community site, right? Your Hot Wife Life. So it's about your experience in this lifestyle.
Okay.
And our idea was having, webinars, mastermind, stuff like that. But if we're going to affiliate market, we need a product that they can sell. Now, we had initially productized it as Playwife Plan and abandoned that because that term doesn't match the common terminology in the industry. And we thought we'd have to sink too much in explaining people what this term means, that term. And so we just abandoned that.
Okay.
But it does mean that now I feel we have to productize again using the correct terminology, because I think that like site pop, you can't have an affiliate sell, I don't think, internet dominators, but you can have them sell site pop. That's a product, right?
Correct.
I think
Internet
we have to-
Dominators is the company.
I think we have to productize, because I do believe that we have the opportunity to leverage affiliates quite heavily.
Yeah, the only way you can sell your company is if you have a IPO, and then you can sell shares of it. You talk to Teresa about that. She could probably guide you in the right direction there. Otherwise, you're selling products.
Yeah.
So it's products or services. So, a lot of people have services. It's the same thing. But, a really easy way, if you don't have a particular product, a really easy thing for you to be able to sell is a membership. And, there's the lifetime membership. If you just don't know what to do, you can say, hey, we're going to be coming out with different things. And, if you get a lifetime membership right now, before we turn it into a monthly, you'll get to ride through for life, and you'll get access to the benefit of all the stuff we add to it over the years. That's a really good opener for you to get things started and incentivize some people to get in the front end. There's a lot of other stuff you can sell them along the way too. So don't worry about, missing the boat on that. But, that's a way you can just start the ball rolling. If you've got a few things that you've already got that would benefit them, that's just a benefit of their membership. Maybe you do monthly call, an update call or a mastermind or, whatever. I'm kind of doing that right now with the whole crypto thing. A bunch of people want to know about that. I didn't really have a product. I didn't know what to do. So I said, hey, I'll put a crypto mastermind together. It's going to be 12 months. I really don't know how it's going to go down because it's not formulated yet. But it's for the most part going to be me teaching what I've learned over the last 6 months. That's, I've probably spent 10 grand in learning, going through this learning curve. So there'll be massive value to it. I just don't know how to package it and bundle it yet, or even what it's going to turn into. It might just go a year and that's it. I might decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know. That's the way this call started in 2010, and it's still going. So you never know. You never know where something will wind up. But the thing is, you get people into it, and then you find out what they want, and you decide if you want to provide that for them. And if so, that creates your products.
So John, let me ask about the domains. You market internet dominators, but your products are ACT and site pop.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, why don't you have and market most heavily sitepop.com?
It just doesn't make sense for me to do that. It's a product of internet dominators. It's not site pop is not a company. It's just a product. It's like Hershey. Hershey has 1,000 different chocolate bars. It doesn't mean that each one of them needs its own website, right? It's only got one distributor. So you go to that distributor and you buy the products that you want. Again, it's back to the real world scenario. It's never been done that way. A new product comes out, it gets a sell sheet, it gets, a brochure, but it doesn't get a whole new company. It doesn't get its own warehouse.
Right.
It doesn't need its own location. Now, a lot of people do that. A lot of people go crazy And at the end of the day, all they've done is they've created a lot more work for themselves, a lot more overhead. It's not following a model that ever worked in the real world. So is it wrong? No. You know, is it insane? A little bit. You know, so and again, that's just it's just my opinion. There's just no right or wrong to any of this stuff. I just look at stuff as, you know, as lazy as I am, I'm going to get the job done with as little steps as possible. And again, looking to how it's done in the real world. I always fall back on that. If I'm ever in question, I say, who's done that like this in the real world? And if I can't find an example, that pretty much answers my question. So
Cool. Thanks.
that's a pretty simple way to answer most questions. It's just who does it in the real world that way. And the other thing too is starting to look at all this stuff. You guys need to start looking at everything with this filtration of, you know, is this a good way to do things? And how do you digitize what does work in the real world? Because anything that works in the real world, if you digitize it, I can almost guarantee you it's going to work over here. The problem is most people don't look at things that way, and they never learn to figure out how to digitize them. You know, it's like the whole idea of putting somebody behind the wheel of a car and letting them feel the experience, right? How do you digitize that? Impossible, right? No, you have a formula in ACT that tells you exactly how to do that. Three-dimensionalize the benefit. Hear it, see it, feel it. That's why somebody gets put behind the wheel of a car, so they can hear it, see it, and feel it. So everything, I've never seen anything that you could do in the real world that couldn't be digitized. Sometimes it's a real nut buster to figure it out, but it can be done. You know, there's still stuff I haven't been able to figure out, but I know it can be done, and I'm still looking for, you know, how to do it. But I have not figured out certain things. Maybe it's for a reason.
Well, thank you so much, John, for the affiliate Kartra.
Yeah, did I get you through the end of the weeds there? I didn't leave you in the weeds.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect.
Okay. Yeah, any of these subjects, I mean, they're a mile wide and 10 feet deep. So
Hey, John, I got to go to a podcast. Can I ask you a quick question on an opinion matter?
sure. I'm very opinionated.
I know. I was talking with Tanya this morning about Be Connected and the crowdfunding deal they're making. What's your opinion of it?
She actually came to me with that and tried to sell me the whole candle before they broke it up.
Mhm.
And what did she want? She wanted 100 grand for 1%.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's like a $10 million valuation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't see it.
So they're doing this where they broke up 10% of the company into shares, and they want
Yeah.
to, share. And
But if you calculate it out, it's still the same percentage. It's still a
Yeah.
$10 million valuation.
I'm not seeing the valuation in what they have. And all I keep hearing from people over there is, yeah, but we've got so-and-so and it's going to be great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you have
But
2 years. It ain't great yet. What's going on?
What they need for evaluation is they need sales.
Yeah.
Sales is what makes a true valuation. So, you know, again, you ask for my opinion. In my opinion, it's not valued correctly for me to purchase in.
Yeah. So, and I thought that, but I want, you know, I mean, I know you're a lot more in depth with them. So I wanted your opinion. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. 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 They're lacking in the sales and they, you know, it's like any company, they do this out of a learning curve. They're bouncing back and forth like a pinball machine. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. They're finding their way. They just haven't quite found it
You know
yet.
what they need? They need something like the ACT program to learn how to sell.
And the beauty of that is I tried to give it to them.
Yeah, that is the truth, man. They don't know what they're doing to sell themselves.
You know?
Yeah, no,
I don't want to, because I know this is recorded and I really don't want to pick on Tanya. I've known Tanya a long time through. This is like her third or fourth business. This always been the way she's done things.
yeah, no, they're
I'm not picking on her. She's got a heart of gold. She wants to, and she does try to do everything she can to help people. It's just this is a, and I've seen other people in our world that, you know what I mean, they have $1 billion idea. It seems like they're holding it within their clutch and not letting it out to be the $1 billion idea. It's like the ACT program.
yeah.
Take it.
Well, I've you know, I mean, I started in there trying to help them out, and I told them in the beginning, you know, they wanted to give me a share of the company and all this, and I said that's fine, but I'm telling you, I'm not in this for a job.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help. I'm happy to guide, but you know, I'm not looking for a 9 to 5. And they said, yeah, but they didn't hear what I was saying, and they kept wanting more of me than was available. And I kept telling them, you know, putting the lineup of, you know, here's where I stop. I'm not going to enter into your meetings 3 times a week for 90 minutes a time and listen to the same crap. Sorry.
That's and I've gotten a lot of investment offers that's what it is. They want me to come in and work for them. And I'm like, no, I want to put my money to work for me. I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't mind helping, you know, and all that, but it just kind of came to the end of the rainbow there.
All right. Thanks for your opinion, man.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Hey, John, I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Seeing how the theme is being in the weeds, in the deep weeds, I find myself there now. I only have 5 clients. They're all pretty big. You know, having 2 more come on in March, 2 more dentists. But I have this one particular client who really likes what I do. My main thing is traffic, which is why I was so interested in SitePop. So I do a really good job with exposure and traffic. But this one guy is so happy with my results that he asked me if I could just take over his whole email marketing campaign. And for some reason, I said yes. And because I don't do email marketing, I'm good at it. He has his list is 12,000 actives, 10,000 inactives. And he said, hey, you know, can you take this over for me? And I said, sure. Then like the next day I said, what am I talking about? So I'm wondering with Kartra, because I'm on this trial, can I actually, you know, with my limited experience, pull this off for this guy? He wants an email sequence for, you know, for his actives. He wants an abandoned cart sequence because he says he's losing a lot of money there. And he wants some sort of re-engagement campaign for his inactives.
Okay.
So, and I'm thinking, okay, this sounds doable, but I have no idea how to do this.
Sure, it's all doable. None of it's difficult. There are some things that you want to be careful of. If you do bring his list into Kartra, you won't be able to use the Kartra mailer to send the mail. You'll get in a lot of trouble doing that, because any complaints, any bounce rate, they're gonna cut you off. So what you want to do is you want to sign up for like a SendGrid account. I think it's like $15 a month, and then you use SendGrid to send the mail through Kartra. I love the Kartra platform to send mail. It's just they're so picky and finicky about, you know, how you use their mail system. So if you get a SendGrid account and you use SendGrid to be able to send all the mail, you won't have any issues with it. So that's one thing. The other thing is looking at how much work is this versus how much he's paying you to do it. And is there enough there? Because he's probably not paying you enough for your time, right? Your time is probably very valuable, or it should be.
Mhm.
And, if your time is too valuable for what he's paying you to do that, is there room for you to hire an outsourcer and have the outsourcer do it and you still make a profit from it? And that's what I would try and encourage you to do, is find a good outsourcer that can handle those kind of projects. And then you go back to work doing what you do, is, sell, work with the clients, and have everybody else do the legwork. Because if you're trying to do the legwork and the selling and the customer interface and all of that stuff, you're going to find yourself really busy and not able to scale.
Mhm.
It's going to be really hard for you to grow the business because of that. And what it'll do psychologically, it will put pressure on you to not make sales because you're too busy and you don't want to fulfill. And it'll put it's almost like an invisible block that's going to keep you from doing what you really should be doing. You should be growing your business and getting new customers. But if I bring in 10 customers, oh my God, I know what that's going to do to my life. I don't want that. So subconsciously, you don't make sales because of that.
Yeah.
So be careful that you don't, self-sabotage yourself. But because we've got the conscious and the subconscious, and they're talking all day long. And you need to control that conversation or it'll get away from you. And it's funny because you don't even know it. You don't even feel it.
John, how could he outsource it? Do you have any connections? Because that's a great idea, but how do you find a reputable outsource?
I've used a lot of people in the Philippines. There's an online job site called onlinejobs.ph. It's like a job board in the Philippines. And you can go on there. I think they do charge for it a monthly fee, but you don't need it on an ongoing basis. You might use it for a month or two to find yourself, a good affiliate, or not an affiliate, a good outsourcer or whatever you need. And then you can just cancel it and come back to it when you need it. But, I think it's like $50 a month, but it's a great source of, recruits. You can find just about anything you want in there. They all have online profiles. It'll show what their skill sets are. I have a particular procedure for hiring people through there that's worked really, really well for me. One thing I found about Filipino workers is they can be incredibly loyal and they can last you a lifetime. On the other flip of the coin, there's some of them that are not honest and will take you for a ride, and you'll never know you were on the ride till it's too late. So you want to be careful of that. So the way I do it is I don't post a job on their board and have people coming in, because I found that just gets you a bunch of scam artists. What I do is I'll go through and I'll physically look at the profiles, and I'll find like 20 people that I feel like they would be a good person for me to hire. And I'll take all 20 of them and I'll send them all an invite. And in the invite email, I'll say something like, I have a job opportunity that is coming available. It's at first on a test trial basis. And then if you work out, it could be a long-term full-time employment position for you. It's a 30-day trial. We pay you the full salary for the full 30 days, or it can be 10 days or whatever. But I did 30 days on mine. And the first thing I'm looking for is how fast they respond. If anybody that does not respond in 24 hours is out, right? If I sent 20 of them out, maybe I'll get 10 that respond in 24 hours. So now my group is down to 10. So the next email I send out to them it's a questionnaire. And the way I did my questionnaire was I had about 30 questions on there. And the questions were basically just rate yourself 1 to 5 here. A 1 means you don't know what this is. A 5 means you could teach me a thing or two about it. And I put down all the different software that I could ever want them to use, anything. Like one of the things was speaking English. How is your English speaking? Either you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're really good and you could teach me a thing or two about English. And then English writing. So English reading and writing were my top 2 questions to answer. And then after that, I was looking for skill set. And the first thing in this exercise that I'm looking for is honesty. If they put down a 5 in English speaking, the first thing I want to do is pop them on a Zoom call and talk to them. And if I find that they were dishonest with that one question, they're done. They're off the list. They're not even a consideration. If they tell me they're a 5 in writing, then I want them to send me a couple paragraphs on why they feel they would be right for this position. And again, I'm looking for response time. Anybody that takes a long response time to this is out. And ultimately, I will boil this down to 1 or 2 candidates just through that process right there. And now I've got quality. Now I'm picking from a very high quality bucket. And at that point, and sometimes I would find 3. I'd hire all 3 of them. They're cheap enough. I'd just hire all 3 of them, give them the 1-month trial. I'd give them all the same thing to do. And at the end of the month, I would look at their work and decide who I was going to go with. The other thing you want to do during that 1-month trial is you want to give them more work than you know they can do. And you want to be able to see how much they can actually accomplish. Because then when you hire them, now you've got a bar set to what they have to, that's your expectation of their work ethic. And if they drop below that, they know that's not acceptable. If you don't set that bar, you'll never know, and they can jack you around until the end of time. So that's the way I set it up, to where I know exactly what to expect. I cut out all the bullshit, and I don't hire scam artists. That's how I created that sequence of events to do that. And I was actually on one of the marketers crews about 10 years ago with the guy that set that up, John Jonas. That's his membership. And we were on the marketers cruise and we were talking, and he said, yeah, he goes, I was telling him how great an experience I'd had using his site. And he was kind of shocked. He goes, man, most people have a tough time finding people that are good in there. And I told him how I did it. He goes, that is absolutely genius. And I think he turned that into a course and taught people how to do that.
Wow. Okay.
But that's how I would go about if I were to, try and find a Filipino. That's the way I would do it. And there's some great ones, and you get a good one, they can be with you for life. One of the things you want to make sure is you treat them right. You pay them well. And one of the things, when I actually bring them on, I have a profile. They have to fill out their profile, gives me all their contact information. One of the questions on there is, what's their mother's birthday? In the Filipino culture, the mother's birthday is very important. That's like a national holiday for the family. So I always give them the day off, and I pay them the day off so they can go buy their mother a gift and spend the day with her. And that is like, gives you a lot of credibility with the whole family. So when the employer does that for the family member, the whole family honors it. And there's a lot of pressure on that employee to stay in good graces with that company. So again, if you think about what works in the real world, that's like going out and putting your employee in high overhead. It keeps them loyal. It's just another way to accomplish the same thing. So I've spent nearly a lifetime figuring out how to digitize the real world experience. So
All right, thanks a lot.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know anyone else that has spent as much time as I have digitizing the real world.
Well, that was great. Thanks, John. That was this whole, how you do it with the Philippines. I mean, we've always known you had a back end, the whole team, but never knew how you
How I develop.
recruit and, keep good help. So, or, quality people.
Yeah. And anything you guys want to know, just ask. There's just stuff I don't think to talk about. But if there's anything you want to know that will help you, don't feel like you can't ask. I'll tell you anything I know.
Well, I have no idea what to pay for something like this. Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, a lot of times when you look at the board, they'll have a pay scale that they're looking for. In some cases, it depends on the skill level they're at, their education, all that. I know you can get a lot of quality people in there for, $400 a month for full time, 600. It just depends on the level they're at. The more skills they have, like if you're looking for a programmer, you're not going to get a programmer in there for $400 a month.
No.
But somebody that is just a marketer or somebody that's learning marketing that wants to increase their skill level, you can find them in there pretty inexpensive, and that's full time on a monthly basis.
Well, that would work. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I would expect to start off with $400 or $500 a month.
Okay.
And you should be able to find somebody that is more than willing and eager to get in on that. And then if they're good, just keep giving them little raises. Another thing too is one of their traditions is they call it the 13-month salary. After a year in December, your Christmas bonus is basically a 1 month bonus salary. And then you give them a week or 2 weeks off during the Christmas season. So it's like it's costing you 13 months worth of salary for 12. So be in touch with their culture. They have holidays, they have religious stuff, and make sure you honor all that. So Linda's like, oh shit, I better get a calendar.
Literally just asked about the mother's birthday, which is hilarious. I didn't know that one fact. That's really good. That's good information. In fact, Charles said he really knows his Filipinos.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, the mother's birthday, that is a big thing. That's important.
Well
Yeah,
noted, John. Well noted.
It should be here too, but in there it's like a national holiday. So, but it's like anything else. Treat them well. There's no reason not to. They can wind up being, the backbone of your company.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, it's good to see everybody.
All right. Well, cool. Yeah, we will be back on regular time next week. I'm headed for the boat. We're going to Catalina for the weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Sounds like fun, John. I have one last quick question.
Sure.
I saw a reference to someone said for SEO purposes, you should create a Google Drive entity stack. What is that referring to, or should I Google it?
Oh, yeah. You might want to YouTube that one, actually.
Okay, then.
Any Google properties. I've never really been a big proponent of all the Google tools and stuff. I'm slowly kind of migrating into it. Like I use their calendar now. I love the calendar. But for a long time, I kind of steered clear of the Google properties for some reason, but
the reason is because they're in your DNA. If you use their stuff, they know everything, and they're tracking every breath that you take. That's why.
Well, they already know plenty about me, so I guess I shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, well, they're going to learn even more.
All right, guys. Well, stay safe out there and stay away from all that COVID stuff that's seems to be recirculating and stay out of the crowds.
Thanks, John. Great session.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
talk to
you.
next week.
Good to see everybody. Have fun in Catalina.
Will do. Bye-bye.